It is the voice of Indiana County, WCCS, AM 1160 and 101.1 FM, Indiana in the Morning, presented, as always, by First Commonwealth Bank. In the studio with us, we're talking IUP women's basketball with Coach Tom McConnell, the Crimson Hawks. Jack Benedict, of course, is here. Just like yesterday when Coach Lombardi was here, Jack, I'll say it's your show. Take over.
All right. Well, thank you, Todd. And here we go. Coach McConnell, welcome aboard. Good to have you come in today.
Thank you, Jack.
Yeah.
Thank you, Todd. Always great to be with you guys.
Let's talk about your team. You're coming off 30 wins, most wins ever, Elite Eight. All of that stuff is gone. Brand new season. You've had some preseason scrimmages, and especially the one at Ohio State. You did very, very well. Tell us how those things went for you leading up here to the regular season.
They were really good learning opportunities for us. We had 3 outside competitions within a 7-day period, 2 scrimmages, and then 1 exhibition game. Our 2 scrimmages were at Robert Morris and at St. Bonaventure, and then our exhibition game was at Ohio State. And our mindset going into that week was, we told our players, we are going to use this as a time to learn and to grow, to get better. We within those 7 days, we'll grow and learn more about ourselves than we would if we stayed here 7 weeks just playing and scrimmaging against ourselves. So with that mindset, we felt it was a good week. We really played against great competition. We're able to solidify some things, what we as a staff were not emphasizing enough.
Mm-hmm.
We learned more about our players in certain situations. So all in all, a great 7 days. We felt it was really good, and the bottom line is we grew and became better.
Mm-hmm. Somewhat like the men's team, you have 3 starters coming back: Carolyn Appleby, Lauren Wolosek, also Brittany Robinson, so you can build around them. How are the new people now coming in and actually meshing with the veterans?
That's a work in progress right now, because in addition to those 3 starters that you mentioned coming back, we also have in the mix players who have been a part of our program for 2 years, who have worked hard, been role players, and now waiting their opportunity. And they've come in hungry, and they know the system and everything. So I think as a staff, that's been our biggest challenge this preseason, is to incorporate the new with the old and to become one team. And I think that takes time. I don't think we're quite there yet. I don't think we as a staff feel we've arrived in that area. So it continues to get better, and our young people have, they've shown that they can play and they can make an impact. And just now, I think this month of November will really tell a lot in these games that we have coming up. When they get their opportunity, when the lights go on, who can make the plays and execute the things and really blend their talents in, so we play as one unit.
Mm-hmm. You have a transfer in from Youngstown State, Natalie Myers, played at Lower Borough. Good prospect, obviously. How's that working out? Really well,
really well. She has 2 years of college basketball, under her belt, so she understands. She knows. She's able to pick things up. The thing I think impresses us most about her is just her work ethic, her passion. She's a very dedicated player. She loves it. She's in the gym. She's working on her game all the time. She has a tremendous desire to do well. So she's been in the starting lineup for us in our exhibition game and our scrimmages, and she's done really well and meshed well with our returning players. So we're really happy that she's with us.
You're starting out with games Saturday and Sunday. Saturday, Alderson Broadus, 2 o'clock. Ohio Valley, Sunday at 3 o'clock. This is the matchups with the conferences that they do. You might explain that, and just, actually what do you expect against these 2 opponents?
It should be a good weekend for us. It's one of the things that you start the season with these conference challenges, and you know, get to play 2 games right away, back-to-back days, which is great training for the crossover games that we have with the PSAC East teams. But what happens early on, Jack, is you don't have film on these teams. And just like the scrimmages, you just have to rely on your own habits, your own principles, and make adjustments as you go. And so as a coach, you get a little nervous about that. You want to watch that film and help prepare your team and give them some things to be on the lookout for. So, but no, we're excited to get going. It's time. It's ready. Our players have been in the gym since September 1st, going against each other. And so I think we're all looking forward to challenging ourselves, seeing what we can be together, growing. You know, that this is what you really look forward to. So, and the other thing I want to mention, I don't know if you were going to talk about Sunday.
Be my guest.
3 o'clock, we tip off with Ohio Valley. Mm-hmm. And at that time, before the game, they're going to unveil the Final Four banner at the KCAC.
Beautiful. And
Megan Smith and Hallie Denman, who are live in the area still, who graduated last year, are part of that team. They will be back. Audrey Stapleton, who was also a big part of that, those 3 seniors. Audrey, as you know, works for the Miami Heat.
Right.
They have games this weekend. She's not able to get away, so she will be missed. And I told her when they unveil that banner, I'll be thinking of her and all that she, you know, did and helped to make that possible, because those 3 were, you know, a big part of that.
You know, traveling with you guys last year, and this is a rare thing. Women have only been in 2 Elite Eights. Fortunately, 20 years ago, I was able to travel along with Sandy Thomas' team. But it was an experience, and it's a learning process, but it's a bonding process, even to the fact that your assistant coach, Jocelyn Ford, had her kids there.
Yeah.
So we were all like babysitters, too.
Absolutely.
You talk about Hawk family, huh?
That was the epitome of Hawk family. And I love that. You know, my 2 of my sons were able to come out and enjoy it. A lot of the players' families traveled. But as you know, as you mentioned, Jocelyn has, you know, 2 young ones. And the players just love Emberly, and you know they just can't get enough of Emmanuel. They just, you know, so they take them under their wing, and you know, parents are helping out when Jocelyn's at practice and her mom came in. So it was a really a special experience.
Yeah, it really was. I'm going to ask you a question I asked Coach Lombardi yesterday about, despite the fact that, I mean, you have high rankings. You're picked number 2 to Edinburgh, but you're nationally ranked. How do you downplay this with the team and keep things in perspective?
We actually, you know, addressed it with our team a little bit, you know. And there's a couple of things. One is we know that that's based on last year, a lot of it. And they look at what you did last year. They look at who you have coming back. And so, but it really doesn't speak to the new players that we have and the new players that everybody else has. It's a new year. It's a new team. We're on our own journey. You know, there's a popular TV show, you know, out now, you know, This Is Us. And I've kind of been saying that to our team. This is us. This is our team. This is your time. You know, we're a new group here, and we're learning to play, you know, with each other and for each other. And so the one thing we don't want to do, and I don't want to do as a coaching staff, us as a coaching staff, is to compare this group to last year's group and measure this year's group success in terms of winning that many games or going that far, whatever it might be. This is our journey. This is our time, and this is a different team, and you know, we've got to be comfortable with that and patient with this group and allow them to grow. Because the last thing you want is for them to coach or to play with chains on or try to compare themselves, and you don't want to coach that way either. And so you've got to really be proactive, and you got to guard against it, and be mindful of that, because the bottom line is I want them to enjoy their journey, their experience, and we always say we want them to play with joy. Play with joy. Be free out there. And if you're looking back or comparing yourself, you can't do that. And so we've talked about it, and just one thing I want to kind of this group to really find their own identity.
Sounds good. Todd, do you have anything?
I did. I wanted to ask Coach about style of play, because I know that you love to put pressure on defensively in that transition game. That's one of your hallmarks. And when you are blending in new players to a program that is built upon that, that can be problematic, or it can be something that is seamless. How's it been with this group?
It's we're finding the best way to play for this team. Even though we have starters back and some returners, and you can't just plug in that old system, the old defensive scheme or the set plays that worked for that group. You have to really find things that work for this. So that's a work in progress. But at the heart of that has to be on offense, Todd, is an unselfishness of sharing the basketball, of moving it, making the extra pass, passing up the good shot for the great one. That's our staple. That's our hallmark, no matter what the scheme may look like. And on defense, it may look different at times, but it's at the heart of that has to be a toughness of a commitment to stopping people and keep them out of the lane and holding them to one shot. And so now we can run and initiate our fast break, because we want to be a running team.
I remember the group that you had before this particular group, and how special they were, and they were able to, I don't know if mentor is the word, but Carolyn, I'm sure, remembers the people who helped her to get to this point when they were here and they were the established stars, and she came on. Now she's got a group of youngsters that she can bring along. I'm sure that's a wonderful opportunity for them. They embrace that, don't they?
They do. They do. They take it to heart, and as well as any group we've ever had, this group of seniors has taken that to heart, and wanting to lead and wanting to mentor, and so they because they do remember what it was like and how helpful that was. My job as coach is to remind them, because they will literally stop practice and talk and teach and show somebody. As a staff, we step back and we just let them have at it, because I think it's really great when players take ownership like that. But my reminder to them is, make sure you're also pouring into them, that they know you love them, you care about them. You know what I mean? So when you go to make a deposit or you go to make a correction, there's something there that you can take from. And I think that's a really thing that leaders need to keep in mind.
Yeah, absolutely. Jack, it's coming up this weekend.
All right, Coach. Hey, thanks for coming in. Good luck. We'll see the fans. I'll tell you what, this is we just pack our bags and stay over there, at IUP and the KCAC in the vicinity of the Miller Stadium this whole weekend.
Yeah, it's a good weekend, and we're hoping for the best for Tort and his guys. That we go out and we get shipped at noon on Saturday, and things fall where we need them to fall. And because if this team gets in, nobody wants to play them.
No, they don't.
Nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Somebody brought it to my attention yesterday. I think that IUP right now is only one of two teams in the nation with both basketball teams and the football team national rankings.
That's pretty amazing.
That's
special.
Pretty elite company.
Yeah, that's great to know.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thanks, guys.
There you go. And just wait till the bowling team gets ranked. It is the voice of Indiana County, WCCS AM 1160, 101.1 FM.